I'm sure that most of you are paying attention at some level, paying attention. You've heard something about what's happening in Houston with the hurricane and now the flooding. This is really unprecedented. And is anybody from Houston here, by the way? The Houston area? It's, you're from Houston? So your family's there now? Dude, it's unprecedented. I mean, you all get floods all the time, but it's just, is your house flooded? Yeah. Yeah. So yours isn't too bad, but the whole city is just. Can we, this is the kind of thing that, if you've not experienced something like this, it really is worth just taking pause, because life itself is very precarious. And it's somebody else today, but it's then somebody else tomorrow, and then the next day maybe it's us or somebody we know, and you do know, we have a classmate. And oftentimes in these moments, I like to just take a moment before class just to acknowledge a really just terrible catastrophe. And I don't know, I just feel like it does something for the human spirit to connect to other people, and that it matters. And I know there are a lot of fundraisers happening and different things going on, and it's just worth just being aware. I mean, really, the city will probably never recover from this, and it's the fourth largest city in the United States, so it's big.
Yo, guys, laptop reminder. If you're not up here, you got to close it.
That's on the quiz, by the way. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So I started class last time talking about this guy and about how President Barron had decided that he wasn't welcome on campus and why, and we went through a lot of things. And I want to just kind of summarize a couple things just to keep us on point to understand what the larger issues are, because what happened in Charlottesville and what is going to continue happening, I think, in different ways with a kind of a certain ideology. It has never gone away, and it's going to continue. This ideology based on racial inferiority and superiority. I really want to address that clearly in the beginning of the semester. I never have. By the way, this class is different every semester. I never know where we'll start or what we'll talk about, or the classes are always different. It's like I'm reworking it all the time. But so here, go to the next slide. So one of the things that, the key that I really want to hit, the whole class in some ways, we'll be talking about the first idea. These are the three key points of the alt-right movement. And this is sort of the cornerstone of white supremacy. But it could be, you could just change some of the words and it would be black supremacy or brown supremacy or Asian supremacy or Arab supremacy or Jewish supremacy, whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. You can create an ideology that's going to give you some reason to put yourself on top and some other group on the bottom. But, and this idea that people somehow need to separate from, the populations of people within the bad genetic gene pool. And so it's like, look, we don't want those genes repopulating, so like, let's just separate them aside and let's move forward with ourselves, so whoever ourselves are somehow. And it's really odd, certainly to me, that a lot of the folks that espouse most racist, supremacist ideas, whether they're white or black or brown or anywhere in the world, are often not the people that you really would want to follow. So, I don't know, maybe they have like bad teeth or bad hair or God, I don't know, I have no idea. But the point is, it's like, I'm not following you. You know what I mean? If you're like at the apex of life, then I'm not sure I want to do that. And so, but people can convince other people, right? Blonde hair, blue eyes. They were like the most important or the most advanced Aryan features that the Nazis were able to kind of convince people of. But Hitler himself didn't have blonde hair and blue eyes. And so like you think that somebody would have stopped to say, wait a minute, hang on a second, this could be problematic. But anyway, but it's the second one that your people of European ancestry are most evolved. And that's the one I want to summarize some of what I said last time, and I want to keep going with this. So one of the things that I want to show you, you see a lot of images like this in the West, right? In the West. So one of the things that excuse me, I say a lot is you need to. It can be a good idea to travel or at least see the world from the perspective of other people, because then we're not necessarily in the West or in the U.S. or whatever the case is, not necessarily the center of the universe. But most people kind of think they are, because that is where you are, so you imagine this is what the world is. But those of you who have traveled a lot, when you have the opportunity to kind of see the world from, it's like seeing this class from over here, it's a very different position than, kind of seeing it from up there. And life is like that, right? So when you're not the center of the universe all the time, you see different photos. So, and you have a different understanding of what life is and how it works, right? Oh my gosh. It's hard for me in the beginning of a semester, because I always have so much I want to say, but I have to realize I have the whole semester. But okay, so listen, here in the West, we see a lot of images like this. And I don't know, there's something about showing images of people in abject poverty that somehow it just, I don't know, it makes people somehow feel better maybe about their own conditions. And like here in the United States, as a race relations class, one of the things that I'm noticing about Houston as I'm looking at lots and lots of photos and video and so on is the amazing number of poor white people. There's so many poor white people in the United States. We don't talk about them, and we mostly don't see them. And so we have right here in Penn State, it's like, yeah, State College seems like it's really, really nice and it's really wealthy and all these rich white people. But it's like, listen, man, you just got to go outside of town a little bit. Pennsylvania is actually a pretty poor state, a lot of poor white people. And so I'm really kind of noticing that, but mostly we don't see it. And what the media does is the media are us, right? It's not like it's some special group, so we are the media. And then the media is like, I don't know, somehow we feel better about seeing other people. And we see a lot of images like that. Like the guy in the upper left, he's a Pakistani man. And the kids on the right are a sub-Saharan African. And the little girl in the lower left is Ecuadorian, and on the right is a Vietnamese family. And we just see this poverty, and we have this idea that the world is just really, really poor, and that people aren't advanced, and the whole world isn't advanced, and like, oh my God, well, we must be the best. Like here in the United States, I think about like this white supremacist ideology that we must be the best, we must be amazing. And I'm like, just look around at your own deprivation, and travel a little bit. Like go to the Middle East. Go to the Gulf countries. Like, my God, you go to Saudi, to the Emirates or Saudi Arabia or Qatar. So I travel a lot. I travel a lot to the Middle East, and I go to Qatar, and I'm like, holy shit, you are so rich. Like Americans, we think, wow, we're the richest country. No, we're not. We're not even close. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, right? And so we think like maybe somehow the rest of the world is like this, and everybody's deprived, and they're not moving forward and not doing really well. And so we keep seeing these images, and we think about Africa, we think about this. So, but you go to Africa and you say, wait a minute, there are elites in Africa. This is an amazing intelligentsia throughout Africa. All of Africa, right? And there's this like, this culture that I'm not looking in the past, I'm looking in the present. People aren't just sitting around on the streets like the little kids on the right, like just with their hands out because they're starving with distended bellies and you can see their bones. I mean, people are thriving all over the world. And so this ideology of white supremacy really doesn't make a lot of sense when you really understand the world. And when you start to travel and you travel around all these other people that are so developed and so smart and so advanced in so many ways and so thoughtful and moral and ethical and strong and vibrant and creative. And then you realize, wait a minute, that's like part of humanity itself. It's not something unique to Silicon Valley or whatever, or, I don't know, Penn State or whatever it is. I don't know, you know what I mean? And so it's like the robots in Japan, you know what I mean? Like, oh man. So what I want to do is try to step away from some of this kind of imagery when you think about white supremacy and people espousing white supremacy. We're all the same around the world, by and large, and yet we're all different. So here, go to the next slide. So remember, I'm going to kind of go. Anyway, did I say anything that sparked anything? Did I? Are the sparks going? Are you seeing it? What do I want you to get out of what I just said? Unless I travel a lot, I really have no idea. Here's what I want you to be thinking right now. Unless I've traveled a lot, and I not just resorts and things. Unless I've really traveled and really been with people and hung out with people, and I really don't know much about the rest of the world. So I feel like I don't know anything, and I've been in probably 50 countries, and I spent a lot of my time living abroad, and I work with people all over the world, and I feel like I don't understand the world. And then I come back here, and I hear people saying, America's the greatest country in the world, and I'm like, seriously? Have you ever left your state? I mean, honestly, what do you mean the greatest country in the world? Like, who told you that? Like, what do you know about America? What do you know about the U.S.? Like, what do you know about anywhere? Like, if you haven't left, if you haven't really engaged, if you haven't sat down with someone that speaks another language, and like even someone who's really poor, and have them, I got one. I was in, I forget where was I? I was in it was a very poor, might have been Haiti. It might have been Ethiopia, actually. I don't know where it was. But I met these little kids on the street. They were, it was Ethiopia. It was Addis Ababa. And they were shining shoes, right? And so I sat down, my wife and I sat down, and we were talking to these two kids. They were out of school, so they were maybe like 9 or 10 years old. They're out of school, and I had them, shine my shoes, because like I'm not into people shining my shoes. Trust me, I'm not into that. But usually I'll just give them money, but these kids really insisted, and then we started talking to them and really engaging them. And the kids started telling me about the Constitution of the United States, and I'm asking them what the amendments were. Like, okay, what are the amendments and this, that? And he knew so much. He knew way more than most of my students, and he knew more things than I did. And I'm thinking, hang on a second. So then I start asking him about other things, and this kid knew so much. And he was shining shoes on the streets of Addis Ababa, and he only spent probably 3 or 4 years in school. And I'm thinking, how do you know that? Like, where do you? And then I'm thinking about back here, and people saying, wow, the Americans, we're the greatest country in the world. And I'm like, really? Do our 8-year-olds know all about the Constitution of other countries on the other side of the world? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just throwing stuff. All I'm doing, you want to know what I'm doing right now? I'm just trying to flip for you. I'm just trying to get you to argue with me in your head somehow, because I'm telling you that you don't know something. And so now you got to convince me that you do. And so now you got to argue with me in your head, and that's what I want, and that's good. And then you'll go home, and you'll have a constant conversation, and you'll just keep arguing with me, and that's fine. That's like means I'm successful, because you're arguing with me. You got it? Because I'm telling you don't know anything if you haven't been around. And then you can say, who are you to say I don't know anything? I'm like, well, okay, you know something, but I don't know. What do you know about other peoples? What do you know about other people of different ancestral backgrounds? Like, what can you say? What can we say? Like, how can we know if we don't talk to them? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything. Okay, so here. So this is what we think. We think human beings really started Homo sapiens, right? Homo erectus, Homo sapiens, about right here, and start moving around the world. And as I talked about last class, as you move around, people engage climactic conditions. And our bodies change. Now, most of the changes that take place aren't really have little to do with the environment. They have something to do with the environment, but probably most of them don't. Most of them are probably just like sexual selection or people just random differences that we see. But a lot of it is connecting the environmental conditions really impact who we are, like I talked about hair, okay? So, but here's the biggest thing, and I said last class, go ahead. And I rarely go backwards, by the way. I don't know why I'm doing this today. I think I just feel like it. What I said was, remember the thing, we're basically 99.99% the same. Like we're the same. So when you make an argument that some ancestry groups with certain features are more advanced or less advanced than others, like what are you basing that on? Because we're all the same. We're fundamentally the same. The human mind, the human consciousness, we study the mind, we study consciousness, we study everything we need to study that would explain advancement. And what we see is that people are fundamentally the same all over the world. The body, the human body and the mind spirit are really linked everywhere in the same possible way. We don't notice a difference. So if you go back a slide, one more. If you look at like all these folks here, this little girl, her consciousness and her mind is all connected in the same way as these kids and them and me. It's all the same. So when you try to make some argument that some group is more advanced than others, you're really saying nothing about other than the fact that you don't study anthropology and you don't study history, because you just can't really make that argument. But again, don't just believe me on that. If you really want to take it seriously, you're going to have to study more, because I don't have time to go into it. But go ahead, go back. So we're essentially 99.9% the same. Okay, that's the thing that this guy, Richard Spencer, and his it's like, dudes, you can't. First off, don't take a bunch of poor white guys who watch World Federation Wrestling and like guns and wearing camouflage and whatever they do, and dude, can I say this? This is gonna sound like such an elitist piece of shit thing for me to say, but I'm gonna say it because it's a class thing. Who like camouflage. In fact, I grew up with guns. So all you gun people, we're all good. I grew up with guns. I'm really comfortable with a gun. In fact, I'm really comfortable with a gun. I don't own a gun. I don't need to own a gun because I don't own a gun because I feel like, well, if I need a gun for self-protection, I need like big guns, because the other people who are going to come after me have big guns, and I'm not going to own that many guns, so I'm not going to have like a little pistol, to protect myself against what? You know, so whatever. I'll just shoot myself accidentally. And so anyway, I'm comfortable with that. But it's amazing if you watch some of this and you're watching people who like play with guns and like wrestling and like this, and they have crooked teeth. It's like, dudes, crooked teeth. Crooked teeth is a class thing. You got it? If you're in a certain class, you don't have crooked teeth. Unless you're like me, but I am in a crooked. I grew up working class. I have crooked teeth because we couldn't afford braces, and even my mom's just like, whatever, dude, you have crooked teeth, but you got it. Crooked teeth matter. Or who don't know that you don't wear a brown belt with black shoes and go on to an interview like at Bryce Jordan Center. Some of you are going to be interviewing at some point. If you're of a certain class, don't wear a brown belt with black shoes. Don't go in and try to convince some guy or woman in some finance job that you belong with them. Brown belt, black shoes, get the out of here. You know what I mean? Thanks for your resume. You got it? That's a class thing. You belong or you don't belong. And so now you got all these poor white guys who are going to try to convince other poor white guys that somehow they've been left behind. So what's the message? And the rest of us are going to follow them? It's like, dudes, I don't think you have the genetics that I really want to follow. If I want to follow the gene pool to its highest peak, I'm not going to follow you. But then you say, why do they have this message? What is it? What are they angry about? What are they annoyed about? And that's what you have to go into, and that's what we're going to talk about in this class, because they have a point to make. And their point from a certain perspective is valid. And so you want to understand what that is. Okay? Cool? All right, man. Here, let's go to this. Oh, by the way, you want to see this? This is what's more common with us. If you do DNA ancestry testing, this is my DNA test. And so we call it biogeographical ancestry testing, because what we do is we isolate certain genes that only exist in certain geographic regions of the planet. And then if you have those genetic markers, certain markers, if you have those, then we know that you have, DNA that comes from that region, so different areas. Like, so for me, for example, I'm 98.8% European, mostly British and Irish, and I got a little bit of Finnish skin, little Iberian. That's why I love Spain so much, I guess. And then, check it out, 1.1% Sub-Saharan African, so I got like a brother card, you know what I mean? It's not a very big one. I got to hunt for it in my wallet sometimes, but you know what I mean? Cool. Terrence, cool, right? I got that much? Not very much, but all right. Dude, hey, by the way, black people, just so you know, except the guy, the white supremacy types, every white person, that's like every white person's dream, man. It's like you want to get a little dark, but you don't want to get too dark, but you want to be able to you want to, just to say you got a little black blood, it's like, oh, man. It's like white people want to be around, they want to have black friends around whom they can drop the N-bomb, because that means you're cool. It's like, oh, yeah, my black friends, yeah, we drop the N-bomb all the time. They're really cool with it. It's like, that's the level of coolness for white people. So just tuning you into that, y'all, right? And just like dating, dating. It's like, dude, seriously, are you straight? Are you straight? Dude, hang on. Do you have a microphone? No, I already picked, I picked on you though before, right? Dude, it's like white guy, do you know, have you ever dated a white guy?
No.
Would you?
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
What? Would you date an Asian guy?
Yeah.
Would you date anybody?
Yes. Wait, that sounds bad.
What do you think white guys think about dating black and brown women?
It sounds exotic, I guess. I don't know.
Exotic? To them, you think we think it's exotic? Wait, hang on. Can you stand up real fast? Wait, do you have her on camera? You got her on camera, right? Go ahead. What's your name?
I'm Darnisha.
Darnisha?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think white guys think?
Like,
Because I get the sense when I talk to black women that black women have this idea that white guys aren't attracted to them or not interested or that sort of thing.
it's honestly whatever.
It's what?
It's honestly whatever. Like, all people look the same to me.
Yeah, seriously, where'd you grow up?
Philadelphia.
Yeah? Did
Yeah.
you go to, in a mixed neighborhood?
I grew up in a mostly white old people neighborhood.
Oh, yeah? White old people like me?
Not like old like you, like actually like old
Oh,
grandmas.
not as old as I am?
Yeah, like I was the only, like me, my sister, and my brother, only kids growing up on our block.
Yeah. So what I think is that there's a lot of things about people, like mysteries and stuff that we don't know because we never talk about it. Like the stuff that I was just saying. Or like dating, right? This
Yeah.
idea that lots of people actually are interested in crossing over the color line and stuff, but they don't. It's like, being gay for a day or something. You know what I mean? Trying it out. Jeff, gay for a day. Have you ever heard anyone say that? Gay for a day? Gay for a night?
It's mostly gay for pay.
Yeah. What is it?
Gay for pay.
Oh, gay for pay?
That's the number one of it.
Wait, what's gay for pay mean, though?
Really? What do you
Yeah.
think? Gay for pay, gay for money, prostitution.
Oh,
When
yeah.
you-
Oh, prostitution. All right, I get that.
Not gay for a day. It's just gay until you get the $30 or whatever the hell it is.
All right. Damn, seriously? All right.
Don't ask me.
All right. All right, dude. I'm going to come back to you, actually. I have a couple more questions. So wait, Darnisha?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, man. So listen, let's go to the next. So here's the thing. You ready? We're going to go in a slightly different direction, and we're going to do a couple things. One of the things that we really want to try to understand are differences and why there are so many differences in the world. Why do people live differently? Why is there a class difference? Why are some people rich, some people poor? Why do we see these group differences? So I'm always seeing stuff come out about the education level of Mexicans compared to Colombians, compared to Puerto Ricans, compared to Africans, compared to whatever, right? Or I'm seeing, like, everyone's trying to make have this kind of group understanding. White people, right? You know, the white unemployment rate versus the black unemployment rate versus the brown unemployment rate. And we're always trying to understand what it is. And so you can go one of two directions. You can go mostly down the biology route. It's like, well, maybe there's something biologically about people, which is what this guy Richard Spencer in his group are doing, that sort of thing. Or you can take the sociology route, which is like, well, there's differences in culture and differences in the way people operate, and maybe there's discrimination, or maybe there's not, or maybe who knows, I have no idea. And so one of the things is that oftentimes, can you go back to the slide of the people? How can you not look at that? If you're white in the United States, if you're white sitting in here, how can you not look at that and you see these images all the time and think that somehow, because you don't see many images of poor white people. And if you do, mostly you have some way of explaining it. It's like, how do you look at that and not think that maybe there's something biological about people with darker skin? Like, how can you not see? We see so many photos of poor people living in abject poverty in Africa. How can you not think that there's something about Africans? Maybe it's biological, and people go to that place to stay. Hang on one sec. To go to the sociological place to say, wait a minute, hang on. Let me not go biology for a moment, and let me not think that it's all about biology. But it's something about sociology. It's about history. It's about the way people engage, about culture, about all sorts of things. That is much more complex. And so sociology versus biology, it's really hard to disentangle the two. But that's what I'm going to do a little bit today with a couple activities, all right? Dude, you had a question?
I just wanted to say that, I'm not defending America because I'm not American, but...
Where are you from?
I'm from Syria.
Syria.
But I find that I lived in many different places, and every place which is arguably, economically and other aspects, inferior to the United States, everyone finds a way to argue that they are better than everyone else. So I don't think it's something exclusive to white people here.
No, I don't think it is. So listen, nor do I think it's exclusive to Americans. And so many of you in this class are not Americans, but most people are. And so I'm mostly speaking to an American kind of mindset or an American audience, right?
So I guess the question is, why are people like that?
Why are people like that? Dude, it's because nobody wants to look in a mirror and feel like they are look, first off, unless we're doing really well, nobody wants to look in a mirror and think that somehow I'm responsible for my place in this world. Like, people don't do that. It's like I want to look in a mirror and think, okay, I'm responsible for all the good things that happen to me, but the bad things that happen to me, I got to find some other reason for that. Because it can't be me. I mean, I can't be a complete idiot or a buffoon or a knucklehead or whatever. Now, me, I am. So I'm mostly responsible for all the bad stuff that happens because I can see myself as a buffoon, right? But most of us don't want to do that. And so what we do is we find this way to kind of identify other people, right? And even if we're on the bottom, we'll find these ways in which we can portray ourselves as being on top somehow, even though it's clearly not true. Right, so it's a human thing to really look in a mirror and say, man, I really screwed my life up. I'm unhappy. In misery. I'm kind of poor. It's that's heavy, especially when you get to my age. Like many of you, right? Like you're not majoring in what's your name, bro? Jimmy. Jimmyan? When did you come here?
2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
From where?
I used to live in Kuwait, but I was born in Syria.
Where in Syria?
In a place called Idlib.
Yeah?
Northern Syria.
Cool. All right. We'll talk at some point. We're going to start some dialogues with some Syrian refugees who are living in Greece right now. So it'd be cool to have you part of that. Yes, I don't. Okay, let me move it. Let's do a couple activities. Okay, keep going. Biology. Okay, here, one more. Okay, you ready? Okay, what I want you to do is break up into pairs or threes or whatever the case is, right? And explain to me, this is the 100-meter sprint finals in Rio. You notice anything interesting about that photo? No, it's not that they all look like me, because they don't. I want you to explain that. How do you explain that? When you're watching the Olympics, and you're watching the 100-meter sprint finals, and you're saying, like, yo, wait, hang on. Do you see anybody in lane 1? No, that's the token white guy. He's not in the photo. he's out. And then there's lane 10. That's like the token Asian, Korean guy probably. Like, he's back. No, seriously. I want to know, how do you explain that to yourselves? What do you say about that photo? How do you explain? Why is that not representative of the world? It's representative of one particular group of people. What do you say? So pair up, especially if you're with people you don't know. Take a risk. What are you going to say? How do you explain that? Okay, go ahead.
Towards the end of the conversation, I thought,
Okay, let's see where we're at. What'd you say? What'd you say? Let me get some responses. Someone just kick it out. Someone whose partner said something. What'd you guys say, dude? You have a tie on, so you.
All right.
What'd you say?
Okay, so I'm
What's your
into
name first?
I'm Nick,
Nick.
and I'm kind of into fitness and exercise science and stuff like that. So
Oh, dude, seriously?
yeah,
Oh, I called my guy.
So-
All right.
so I should probably meet like the Asian Hulk, and we can exchange
Oh yeah, right.
strength,
Exactly.
strength training routines. But I approach this in thinking that
Wait, can I ask a question first off? Dude, stand up real fast. So we're amazing, Nick here. Basically asking Nick, why is it that these black guys run so fast? But how many black people are in here going, holding your breath, going like, oh shit, what's this white guy gonna say? Anyway, dude, are you holding your breath, bro? Like a little bit? All right, dude. Pressure's on. Go ahead. Are you holding your breath? You look like you're holding your breath. Well, you're sitting behind him, so you got it. Okay, go ahead, man.
okay, they're all there because they're pretty tall, so they have a longer stride which helps to run faster. Other than that, I don't really know why the person won, who won, or I just know that they all have a long stride, and that helps them run faster. And having a longer stride is because they're taller. So.
Okay, hang tight. I need a Korean. I need an authentic Korean here. Who's Korean? Wait. Okay, no, hang on. No, seriously, I need a Korean. Who's Korean? We can go with. Wait, hang on. We got Koreans here. You don't have to talk. You just have to stand up. Dude. Where's my guy? Dude, wait. Not him, though. No, wait. No, seriously. Wait, hang on. Yeah, okay, I'll take Chinese. We'll take second best. Chinese. Wait, hang on. Wait, you're Chinese, right? Dude, stand up real fast. So look at this guy. Come over here. And now I need someone who's Nigerian. Do we have any Nigerians here? Come down the front real fast. Bro, just hold tight. Do I have any West Africans here? Ghanaians? Dude, can you, bro, over there. We're going to bring you back down, bro. Did you get a date the other day? Bro, come down here real fast. You were all over Twitter the other day. People were fighting over you to get a date. I was looking for my wife's Twitter handle, see if she was on there. All right, what's your name, bro?
Tristan.
Tristan? Yeah. All right, dude. Seriously, bro, did you get a date? Do you have a girlfriend or boy? Are you straight?
Yeah, I'm straight.
You're Ghanaian, right?
I'm Nigerian.
Nigerian?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, you have to at least say you're straight if you're Nigerian.
I'm straight, yeah.
Did you get a date the other day?
Nah.
Dude, seriously, 119. Honestly, what this class really could be, it's like just a big dating game because I'm really am part of what I'm trying to do is improve race relations, like get people to get along better. So if I get you a date by next class with a white guy, right? Seriously, you're on. Have you ever dated a white guy? Dude, I'm gonna hook you up. All right. Okay, so anyway, listen, bro, you ready? Nick.
Yep.
So what's the difference between this guy's body, Chinese, standard Chinese, could be Korean though, Tristan. Don't be thrown off by the name.
I'm 100% Chinese.
He's 100%. What's the difference between his body and his body?
The one in the track warm-up
Dude, hang
suit looks well.
Dude.
Well, I mean, if you're wearing a track warm-up suit, you can probably.
Bro, hang on. Do you mean the black guy?
Yes, I
You're
was
allowed
being
to say
very
black guy
politically
in this
correct
case.
by avoiding saying that. So the difference between them is the black guy's taller, probably more muscular, which is good.
I don't know,
which
dude.
is good.
Dude, you saw the Hulk. Do not be putting Asians down. But seriously, okay, here's what I want you to do. What's the difference between this torso and legs? Torso and legs. What do you know?
Well, genetically, basically.
On average, we're talking.
Okay, on average, the black guy's gonna have longer legs, probably a longer torso too. Yeah.
Short, but comparison to legs, longer legs, slightly shorter torso than this guy. Longer torso, shorter legs.
Ratio of legs to torso.
Ratio, dude.
I'm not really an expert in, but
I'm turning you into an expert, though.
well, then I would say that longer legs go to the black guy and shorter torso goes to the black guy, and then
Yeah, okay, got it. And
reverse.
so what's that mean? What's it mean? Like, dude, you're great badminton. You guys kill it. I'm badminton. You know?
Ping pong.
Ping pong. Dude, long arms matter in ping pong, but you're quick. And so running distance, running whatever. But dude, to win this race, it's like hundredths of a second. So on average, people of West African origin, on average, East African too, but East Africans, we see all the long distance runners, right? So on average, ratio legs to torso, slightly smaller torso, longer legs, slightly longer on average. Because remember that one Chinese dude about 16 years ago at the Olympics, I forget what his name was, but any track people here? He was in the finals. There was one Chinese guy in the past century. Anyway, on average, this is what we're going to see, and that doesn't fly. When you're talking hundredths of a second, everything matters. So like he just happens to have a body that's like going to be a little more amenable to this kind of running. Distance running, Tristan, bro, you can like train yourself, even though it's like all the Ethiopians and Somalians and stuff, but you could train yourself to do much better, but you're not going to beat this guy off the blocks on average. You're not. Maybe you're going to be fine the first like 20 yards, but after that, it's like he's going to win. If he trains, like if he's not trained and you are, obviously, you're going to win, but otherwise. So we go all around the world and we start looking at body types and body sizes. And remember, like you just see certain genetic features just hold up. So this is just one here that we see. It doesn't matter. So it just means like, okay, these guys can run a little faster on average. It's not a big deal, right? Are we cool? Do you play sports, by the way?
I was in the cross-country team.
Cross-country team? How'd
Yep.
you do? How are you?
Not so good.
Did you compete against any Ethiopians?
Not Ethiopians, but like
East Africans?
I don't remember, but mostly like white.
White people?
White people. Yeah, I'm from Indiana, so it's pretty white.
Oh, dude, Indiana. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. All right. Yo, cool. All right, well, thanks, man. Thanks for loaning us your body. Thanks once again, dude. No problem. Yo, hit this guy up, someone, all right? Remember.
Yo, it's not just a couple. It's like the entire Twitter feed, dude. You gotta at him.
Dude, the rest of your semester is all taken up, man. We're gonna have to take a collection for you to pay for all. Okay, you ready? Now here we go. We're gonna do another one. I need a volunteer and I need another person who loves sports. A volunteer to come up and you ready for it? All right, man. Hang on, it can't be too white. It can be, okay, we got a white guy. I need someone else who's brown or black. Dude, brown guy. Where are you from? From India? Dude, okay, come up. You two guys. All right, man. What's your name?
Manam.
What is it?
Manam.
Manam? And bro, what's your name?
My name is Mohammed.
Mohammed?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
The UAE.
UAE, and you're from India?
Yeah.
Damn, it's crazy. Okay, very cool. Look at your nose, by the way. We're going to talk about your nose. No, seriously. No, I want to talk about noses next. Seriously, hang on. Turn around. Turn to the side. Can you get a close-up of his nose?
This
stand
isn't
still, bro.
offensive. Like,
Hang on. Right there. That's an awesome nose. Seriously. No, that is. Dude, let me see your nose. In fairness, we got to look at your nose, too. Yeah, let me see. Can you get Muhammad's nose? No, hang on. Come forward.
How you doing?
Yeah, right there.
All right.
Nah, you're not even close. Dude, that's a killer nose. But we're going to talk about noses, by the way. By the way, it's okay if I talk about his nose. You know, we get weirded out by this stuff. This is all genetics. That nose comes from his DNA. And his DNA comes from his ancestors. And his ancestors the reason he has a nose like that, like you have your nose, it's a survival thing. So we have different nose sizes that go with survival as well. So in certain areas of the world, in certain climatic conditions, we see larger noses, and then we see smaller noses, and then we see noses in between. But your nose, globally speaking, is more normal size than not. Like we have this idea of like this European nose. Like, for example, can you stand up real fast? Look at her nose. Come in, look at it from the side. Hang on, no, right here. Oh yeah, right there. Whoa. Well, she has a small nose. Like that's a really tiny nose. His nose is much more normal, dude. So, but here, what's your name, by the way? Skylar. Oh yeah, you're Skylar. That's right, Skylar. I can't believe I forgot already. Oh shit. Oh, I didn't remember I still don't remember his name. The guy with the tracksuit over there. That. All right. Anyway, so listen, we'll come back to it. No, actually, let me just stay right here. You get it, right? So here, let me show you. So the nose, you ever been out like in the wintertime when it's really, really cold? Bro, you're from India.
Parents are, but yeah,
Parents are, you grew up here?
born here.
Where at?
Trenton?
Talk.
I was born in Trenton, but I was raised in Morrisville.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so Trenton, New Jersey.
Yes.
Okay, so, wait, is your mic on? Yeah, you just gotta hold it tight. Okay, so listen. You ever, like on a cold day, bro, maybe you've had this experience when you're out and it's really, really, really cold and you go like that and it hurts. The reason it hurts is because you're taking in this icy cold air into your lungs, and like that's a problem, and it's not good for you. And so one of the things that you want, what we see with longer noses, is in larger noses with larger nostrils and longer noses, we see that it's a way of sort of warming the air before it hits the lungs. It's longer, it moistens it, it warms it. It's like, okay, we're good, right? So we tend to see in like colder, more arid climates, we see, especially in mountainous regions, we tend to see noses over time, they start to grow larger. Not small noses. So like, for example, you know, a flatter nose and a wide nose would not fly in the area of the world where his ancestors evolved. So those of you, many people have a flatter nose, a wider nose, like that doesn't fly. That's good in more of a warm, humid conditions, that's fine, but it doesn't work in other conditions. So you can look at some people's noses and you're just, like Terrence, hop up real fast. Look at his nose. So can you look at right there, bro. So you see the width here? I can touch your nose, right? Yeah, I can because we're cool. Terrence used to work for me, by the way, so now he's living his life, a real life. And so look at, like, we see the crown of the nose, we see up here the bridge of the nose, and then we see down here, and it matters. And then look at my nose, right? Mine's really flat because I crushed it, my football, when I played football, my helmet crushed my nose here. But nonetheless, it's much smaller. And it says something about where I was, like where my ancestors evolved. Like so it's cool, right? You just see this. It's all part of like what the package is. Dude, thanks, man. Okay, anyway. Gentlemen, what you're going to do is, I want you to explain. Oh, shit, you can't. Hang on. You grew up here, so you're good. You're from the Emirates?
Yeah. I'm from the UAE.
I don't think I can use you, bro. I think I'm going to need, you can stay up here, though. But, dude, I'm going to use you. All right, what's your name? Matt. All right, hang on. You stay here for a second. You're going to see why. All right, show the next slide. See these guys? Bro, do you know anything about hockey?
A bit.
A bit? Yeah. Wait, you almost had a Canadian accent. Wait, what's that?
They hit each other a lot.
That they do, I think. All right. Do you know anything about hockey, bro?
Nah, nothing about hockey.
Do you know?
A lot of white guys play it.
Okay, dude, go to the next slide. Basketball. These are all stars, right? Why is it that hockey guys are all white and basketball players are all black? And we can say, okay, not all, but there are a couple black guys, dark-skinned guys playing hockey in the NHL, right? And there are a few. I mean, there are growing numbers of them, but not many. And there are some white and brown people playing in the NBA, but the vast majority of people are of African ancestry. Why is that?
Because
What is it about black people that allow them to play basketball, that they do really well in basketball and white guys do really well in hockey? And whatever you do, don't be racist in your response.
I think it's because the white guys probably they're more
Hold
adaptive.
it right there.
They're more adapted to cold, so they probably have more better training, something like that. And then black guys probably because of longer legs and shorter torso, they have better, I don't know, hops.
Dude. All right. Go ahead, bro. How about you?
No, similar answer, but like I know like the Kenyans, they usually do really well in the Olympics because they have really good cardiovascular endurance, and I think it's a similar thing with why you have kind of like the NFL too. There's more black people than let's say white people.
Dude, Muhammad, you want to weigh in on this?
It can be a cultural thing. So like hockey is played more by white people, and then black people like basketball more.
Okay, that's cool. What do you need? What kind of body do you need to do really well in basketball? What kind of physical features do you need to have?
Tall.
What?
Tall.
Nah, not necessarily. Do you have to be tall? Not necessarily. All right. But it helps for certain positions. Okay, go ahead. What else? Anything, gentlemen? What's that? Longer arm span. Maybe.
You can be like really lean and light, so you can have really a lot of agility moves.
A lot of what?
A lot. So you have to be very athletic to make quick.
Quick? Okay, how about hockey? What do you got to be?
Still really strong, powerful legs, and a big guy.
Quick?
Also very quick.
Dude.
Agile, quick.
Yeah? Agile, quick. Bro, what do you have to be? What do you have to be to play hockey?
Big compared
Big?
to basketball players.
Similar to basketball players?
More bigger than basketball players.
You
compared
think
to
so?
Yeah.
I don't know. Does anyone want to weigh in on this? What's the difference? Bro. Wait, hang on. Dude, yeah, I know you don't, but in order to get into the live stream, can you hand it? All right.
All right.
What's your name, bro?
Hayden.
Stand up. Hayden?
Yeah, Hayden.
Dude,
With an H.
Hayden's going to hook us up.
All right. So I would make the argument that part of it is actually economic because hockey, the equipment needed to play the sport is actually it can be pretty expensive. And so it's not as much of an issue as like white people are like bigger and like better for hockey. But I would say they have like literally just more access to the equipment needed to play hockey. Whereas in like, I don't know, in poorer neighborhoods, I guess. By the way, I'm of the opinion that like race differences are mostly a factor of economic status.
No,
like,
listen.
yeah.
Hang on. Yo, did you see what he just did right there? Now, hang on. I got your back right here for a second, because we're on the white team, right? So, what he just did was he opened up a door to say something about black people, right? And as a white guy, what he's learned as a white guy is like, oh shit, I'm not sure I'm really gonna be saying anything about black people in mixed company and define black reality. So let me close that door and let me put a caveat out there to say, well, I don't necessarily think this, that, or the other thing, but let me just say this, right? And so that's cool. I get where that comes from, and that's important. White people, one thing that we do, part of it's really is important to listen and to find ways to talk about this stuff that's different, and yet at the same time it's really important to talk, to put it out there. In black and brown people, it's really important to hear that we're all just trying to figure this stuff out, right? So anyway, go ahead. Tell us why black people don't play hockey.
All right. So they just simply they're like genetically we're all like 99.9% equal, but economically, I mean, the reality is that we're just not given the same opportunities, and we're not given the same economic thriving capacity.
Okay, so let me so go ahead.
Therefore, in a poor black neighborhood, you can just, all you need to play basketball is a hoop and a basketball.
Okay.
To play hockey, you could have a goal, puck, sticks, but in order to get really into the sport, I would argue that you would need to buy a lot of the better equipment. And I would also add on that I think if the world was economically all like similar, right, or at least equal, we can say that.
Uh-huh.
I honestly think body structure, because we're talking about body structure in relation to genetics here, I would make the argument that black people are actually just way more athletic, you know what I mean? I think if they were given the exact same economic opportunity, they would outshine us in hockey. But since we're just given greater access to hockey equipment.
Bro,
And
now, you know what you just did right there? You crossed over into the line of a racist argument. Now, I'm not saying you're racist at all. Hang on. Oh, shit. I shouldn't have said that.
Wait.
You've crossed over now into dangerous territory.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I know.
But let me I got you. But let me explain that was cool. I like what you said. But listen, so let me complexify it a little bit. Half of all black people in the United States, people of African ancestry in the United States, are middle class. Half. We have this idea when we talk about black people, you think poor, right? And that's not the case here. I'm looking around the room, and I know there are a lot of black and brown people, obviously, who are not poor, and some are really rich. But we have this idea, we think black. In the U.S., we think poor, black poor, black poor. Half of all black people are middle class. Now, of the other half, you got all your upper middle class and upper class, and there are a whole lot of them, and then you got your working class and poor folks, right? So what you have, it's just like, bro, where's my man on the ratio? Remember the ratio thing? It's not about absolutes, it's about the ratio. It's just like, yeah, a little bit more poor than on average white people, but there are way more poor white people because there are way more white people. So now you walk into that world, bro, of like, okay, so maybe black people, it's a financial thing, but look, there are a shit ton of black people who are middle class and rich. Why aren't they playing hockey?
Honestly, I don't know. I kind of knew as soon as I stood up, like, you know,
No, you've done really good.
whenever I look at people, you know, I think of them all the same, but I knew as soon as I stood up, they'll, like, at the end of class, people, like, look at me sideways just
No, dude, no, don't look at him sideways. That was, your answer was really right on, okay? No, it was a really good answer. And I'm sorry I said what I said. What I was saying there was that when you walk into, when you say, yeah, but if all things were considered equal, then black people would probably outshine white people. That's like that's like saying, oh no, because black people then have different bodies and are going to outshine us. Maybe so in certain ways of the torso, but I don't know. Dude, you did amazing. For a white dude talking about that issue, like you were rocking it. So, dude, nice. Okay, so here, look. Here's the thing, right? You all have tapped on this, including you, bro. Basketball, what do you need? You need like fairly quick reflexes, and you need to be strong. Anybody can be strong. You can be strong. You guys can have the same strong bodies, you know what I mean? And quick reflexes, and okay, so everybody has that. We can find white people. We're looking at averages. Remember the average thing? So we can find plenty of white people with short torsos and long legs. It's like, it's great. In hockey, you want to be quick, you want to be strong, you want to be fast, you want good eyesight, fast reflexes, that whole stuff. In hockey, you want that. In basketball, you want that. Anybody who's really good at basketball could be really good at hockey. If you're a pro basketball player, you could be a pro hockey player. If you're a pro hockey player, you could be a pro basketball player. All you got to do is have spent 15 to 20 years of their life skating as opposed to shooting a ball through a hoop and dribbling a ball. So it's the same thing. It doesn't really matter. And so then we go, why is it that we see all white people one place and all black people in another place? Maybe it's just like really culture. I don't know. Maybe it's culture. Has nothing to do with our bodies. You sort of said it. And you, the two of you were kind of saying that. It's like in a way, right? So maybe it's just culture. It's fine. Can you go back one, bro? Like all these guys here, they're all strong, they're all big, they're all pretty tall. And go ahead one slide. They're all strong, they're all big, they're all pretty tall. It's the same thing. Doesn't really matter. There is a class component to it, there's no question, that culturally speaking, dude, who do you grow up? You probably weren't into sports, right, bro?
Martial arts. So.
Martial arts, yeah. Bro, were you into sports? Dude, you're a skateboarder guy. Who'd you have photos of on your bedroom wall? Skateboarders? Tony Hawk?
Actually, I don't like sports.
You don't like sports? Dude, but let's say you did. Your friends who did they have photos of hockey players up, or did they have photos of basketball players? It's basketball players. It's a cultural thing. And like white dudes, like you know, there are a lot of white dudes in certain areas of the country, not in the South, because people didn't play hockey in the South. Historically, you play hockey where it's cold, and then you can flood the ground, and then you skate. Like, you don't have indoor hockey arenas, so you have hockey in Canada, in cold areas, and then it becomes embedded in part of culture. So the further north you go, the more white people there are. And so therefore, you see this hockey is this thing of white people. It slowly starts to descend. We now have NHL teams in the southern part of the United States. That's only a recent thing. So you couldn't have ice down there, ice rinks and so on. And so therefore, we just see these cultural pieces. There's nothing, like, I hear people talk about, like black people have an extra bone in their leg or an extra muscle or God knows what. It's like, come on, it's sociology. It's pretty, dude, anything you want to say? Are you cool with me talking about your nose, by the way?
Oh, I'm fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of these people were really uncomfortable.
I got used to it over the years.
What do you mean you got used to it?
I mean, back in like school, like maybe like a second grade, third grade, people used to make fun of me, like saying you got a big nose, blah, blah, stuff like that. Over the years, I just got
Did you ever make fun of them and be like, dude, you got a small nose? Ha, ha,
obviously,
ha.
yeah. I
yeah,
went
that's
straight to, I basically just said, hey, you got smalls. What you gonna do about it?
Dude, because really, from my, when I look at people's physical features, where the skin color or hair texture or nose or lips or ears or shape of the eyes or whatever the case is, all I see are their ancestors. Body, I see your ancestors like you, bro, like this little mark right there on your chin. That's back. That's genetic, man. Like that's going back far, right? That's what it is. And you, bro, same thing. Like you're. Yeah, definitely the beard, dude. Do you have hair like all down your back and stuff? Do you shave your back? Dude, of course you do, right? Yeah, I mean, dude, look at that. Oh, dude, can you get that? Can you get it? Look at his hair. Like you don't just, dude, that hair, dude, did you come out of the birth canal with hair on your arms? Like a full beard? Your parents were like, oh shit, look. Yeah, everyone in your family probably has a lot of hair, right? Yeah, exactly. So what is that? You know what I mean? Like what's this about? So whereas the Hulk, dude, you don't have a beard, do you? Nah, exactly. You think he would, but he doesn't, right? You take all the testosterone you want, pal, you still won't have a beard. All right. All right, thanks, dude. Yeah. All right. All right. Thanks, dude. Thanks, gentlemen. Bro, thanks, man. By the way, you really did a cool job, by the way. Okay. I want to do one final thing. I just want to look at eyes really fast. So I want someone with really wide, I need someone with really wide eyes. I just want to show you another feature here. Who has really wide eyes? Like open, like really. Dude, any? Jill, Jill. Okay, you do. And wait. Not so much, but come on, can I use you? Yeah, I can use you. Yeah, can you come here a second? So listen. This is Terrence's girlfriend, by the way. So, fiance, dude. So yesterday? Seriously? Oh, dude. Wait, hang on. Come here. Shit. Seriously? Seriously? Oh, God. Okay. How did I not know? All right, hang on. Turn around. I want to take a shot. You know, I want to take this shot. Yeah, from the 19. All right, dude. Okay, so listen. Well, damn, congratulations, y'all. All right, so listen. So here, eyes. So look at, do you know, there's this thing called the epicanthic eye fold. And can you get a close-up right here? Right in here, there's a fold. Man, I don't know if you can see. Can I? Yeah, look straight. I can touch your eyes, all right? We're cool? All right. So right in here, see this fold right here? The upper eyelid has this fold that comes down. And if you look at it carefully, you just see it's just a very tiny little crease, okay? Jill, by the way, Jill, you'll hear from Jill later because she's working on, she runs the Haiti project with it we have. Look at Jill doesn't have that eye fold right there, whereas Kasumi does. So it's Kasumi, right? Yeah, okay, so she doesn't. Look, so sometimes so squint a little bit. Have you ever seen like Asians, people of East Asian ancestry whose eyes are so like that, like barely, you can barely even see out. I'm like, holy shit, how do you even see out of your eyes, right? Wait, is there anybody in here like that? Anybody? Okay, but the case is, so people have the idea that like, oh, but her eyes are different. No, the skull is the same. Kasumi's skull and Jill's skull are exactly the same. The eye socket is exactly the same. The only thing that's different is that little epicanthic eye fold. And some people of Asian ancestry, different Asian, Kasumi's Japanese, but could Chinese.
Yeah.
All right. But could even pull it down further, whereas Jill doesn't have that. And that's all it is. And do you know why we have that? Do you know why some people have that epicanthic eye fold? Climate? Wait, what do you think?
I would say the dryness. A lot of, I think, so I am ethnically Chinese, and I think my people descended from the Mongols, and the Mongols lived in dry climate with steppes and also deserts. So maybe I think it's for protection of the eyes from dry air and sand.
Yeah?
That's
Do you
my
agree
theory.
with that?
Yeah.
You're thinking that? And your eyes are wide open because what? You lived in dark regions?
don't
You
know.
need to open the irises up?
I'm not really sure, to be honest.
Yeah? Okay, well, here's what we think. That's for a lot of people have thought that for a long time, but mostly we think it's just sexual selection. That at certain points in times, people just looked at your eyes versus your eyes, and some people just said, no, I really like that eye. And so then that just sustained itself in certain regions of the world. And it's not about actually that your eyes, the foal wasn't adapting to climate conditions, it was just sexual selection.
Yo,
just like we prefer
you're cut
that.
off.
What's that?
You're cut off.